This next tutorial is a movement that incorporates the hip hinge in a one-legged movement or a balancing movement. It's called Warrior 3 in the yoga world, and in other parts of the world, like the physiotherapy world, it's often called the golfer's reach because it's something that golfers figured out how to do to bend over and pick up the ball in neutral spine. So it is a really smart way to bend over and pick up something light closer to the floor. So I'm first going to demonstrate the movement. So the key thing here is to remember our hip hinge. So if you recall, we have the 3 points of contact with the pelvis in between the shoulder blades and the back of the head. And we want to actually hinge from the hips. So just a reminder there. But we're doing this with one leg. So here's the movement. So it's still the hip hinge, but I'm extending one leg behind me. If balance is an issue, I would suggest having a counter or a chair in front of you. And then coming back up, and if you notice, if you want to make this a practice, I haven't lowered the right leg to the floor. So hinging again at the hip, spine and neutral, and coming back up again. So we will be practicing this movement in the classes to allow us, and I'll be going over this movement again in movements that we do in our daily lives. But if you can imagine a golfer with his golf club, extending that back leg back and picking the golf ball off the ground the whole time the spine is in neutral, maybe a little bit less close to the floor, but you can still do it. So just bending down and picking something up. So for some people, that is just a bit too wobbly. So there is something called the modified golfer's reach that still incorporates the hip hinge. So I'll just show that here. So my stance is feet hip width apart, and I'm just taking the back leg back. So instead of having the leg up, it's just back on the ground. I'm in a stride position. I'm going to bend both legs. I'm going to bend the front knee. Back leg can stay relatively straight. And I'm going to hinge at the hip and bend forward and pick up. So this movement actually can be done shoveling, can be done vacuuming, sweeping. So this actually becomes a really important movement and is a bit more stable than extending that leg back. Okay, so I hope that's helpful for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a question in the Facebook group, or just fire me an email if Facebook group isn't your thing. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great day, you guys.